Chapter 61 Tianyuan City Lord, Withdrawal. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Lord of Tianyuan City shook off the unconscious old man with his hand, his eyes flickered. There are powerful monsters, various powerful beings, and an old ancestor who looks very young. He could only search these scattered information, because based on the level of the ordinary people passing by here, they don't know the real details of the old ancestor. Even if he has seen it, he doesn't know the specific strength. This means that more detailed information cannot be found. An old ancestor who looks very young. How mysterious is he? Maybe he is a strong man. Thinking so, then his eyes narrowed. It seems that the Chen family has gone out with the whole family, and now it is an empty city. The city is empty. This is still an important news for him to search the soul. Although he doesn't know why the Chen family went out like this. Lord of Tianyuan City, what should we do? Asked the Lord of Shen City. The other city lords also looked over. Tianyuan City Lord shook his head. There is a powerful formation here. Except for the people in the city, it is difficult for outsiders to enter and exit easily. This is also one of the results of the soul search. I am afraid that the young ancestor has done something wrong. Shenqing City Lord frowned. With our strength, we can't break in. Tianyuan City Lord's eyes suddenly became sharp. I don't know. But before that, there was also a big battle here, but it was suppressed by the ancestor of the Chen family. The stronger the Chen family, the bigger the trouble, suppressed casually, no one even got out alive, and the news spread that this energy was said to cover the sky with one hand. Hearing this, the city lords all looked solemn. What if we join forces to test it? Okay. Do it together. Tianyuan City Lord is also a decisive person and made a decision immediately. First, their excuse for coming here is very simple. Congratulations to the Chen family for their establishment, and to come here to congratulate them, and to determine the intentions of the Chen family. Of course, he also knew that the Chen family was extremely ambitious, so there is the first point. This is an empty city, so they will try it out, and at the same time, it is also a kind of deterrence. He believes that a newly rising family, even if it can have an incredible emperor sitting in charge, dares to confront the royal family head-on. The foundation is enough, the persuasiveness is enough, far less than those emperor-level forces, and the establishment of a family can only be fully effective with a great emperor. It is necessary to take some action while the Chen family has not yet perfected its foundation. Then, 7 or 8 saintly realm masters took off into the air and bombarded wildly. The momentum was huge, the aura was terrifying, and when they joined forces, the pressure was overwhelming, and the surroundings were devastated. When the city lords took action to break the formation, the crowd below, several commanders' eyes flickered. What is going on with their Chen family? They dared not say, nor dared to ask. But at this moment, the young master was not in the presence of the Chen family, and seemed to do nothing, so they could only wait and see. Boom boom boom, the city lords took action, and soon they were convinced the formation was not broken at all. The city lord of Tianyuan took a deep breath. This formation is difficult to break. That they were shocked that so many strong men joined forces, but it was useless. Seeing this Chen family, it became more and more mysterious. All the city lords looked good, they had so many saintly strong men, and they attacked such an ant-like city. The movement here also completely attracted the attention of the people in the city. They all went to eat melons and watched the fun. There was a very brave street auntie, carrying a vegetable basket and holding an egg in her hand to strengthen her courage. Anyway, she would crush it. She stood inside the formation barrier and said tremblingly. You. Who are you? You. That they are too powerful, such a terrifying powerful group, who can scare a person to death, and they come to attack their Chen family city. The ancestor of the Chen family led all the Chen family out, and they also knew the reason. This city was defended by them. Although they have fought, they can't beat them. Wait for the ancestor of the Chen family to come back. It was heard that the city lords didn't care at all. If it was just this formation, they were just some ants, and they were not qualified to see them, let alone talk. Without caring at all, the Lord of Tianyuan City looked at an old man. Lord of Tianjin City, are you good at formations? Do you have a method? That a strong attack is fine, maybe a roundabout way to break it. The Lord of Tianjin City looked at the formation that disappeared. Lord of Tianyuan City, this formation is far beyond my strength. In addition, this formation is a defensive formation. Its energy supply, formation I and formation base are too solid, and the power fluctuation is strong. It cannot be broken without internal forces. After hearing this, everyone had to give up. It seems that we can only wait for the Chen family to return and find out. I'm asking you a question. Death. A very timid old lady in the city cursed. He was holding a rolling pin in his hand. He didn't even cook, but he came to guard the house. What do you mean by talking to him? The city lords frowned and thought they had misheard. Go and see. Immediately sent his guards to challenge them. They were talking to ants. A group of guards ran over and separated them from the formation barrier. Shrew, what did you say? He pointed with a spear in his hand, and he had the urge to stab the opponent to death. How can a mere ant talk to a peak-strong man? Do you understand what people say? Then I'm too lazy to repeat it for the second time. It's useless. The old lady waved the rolling pin and pointed in the same way. Come out if you dare, that I'll beat you to death. Come in if you dare. Come out. Come in. That seeing this situation, more people came to join in the fun. The antis on the street started to curse in groups. They were crazy, chattering, and a lot of mess, and no one knew what language they were talking about. The guards were dumbfounded. They were good at killing people and fighting, but they were good at talking nonsense. The Lord of Tianyuan City was furious. Withdraw, that how could a top powerhouse waste time here? And suffer in vain. This is not their home ground. Retreat. Hearing this, the soldiers returned with a depressed look and doubted their lives. This formation is poisonous. How could they be so aggrieved? However, they only heard from behind. Look, there are deserters. Poof. Almost killed a surprise attack. It was also at this time that the powerful people from the major saint-level sects appeared. Qinyan sect, Tianluo sect, Dayu sect, etc. All of them were saints, a total of 7 or 8. Because of this level of competition, those below the saint realm powerhouses have the final say. They were also subordinate to each other, and noticed the movements of the major cities, and came to deal with them. Tianyuan city lord glanced at them. Major sects, what is the intention? Other city lords also raised their vigilance. Sects usually did not intervene, but now it was the same. The situation changed. The leader of Qinyan sect said, Major city lords, what is the intention? That they are indeed a little afraid of these city lords, of course not themselves, but the existence behind them. Moreover, in a sense, the forces between them will basically have conflicts of interest, but a coexistence relationship. But after the Chen family is affiliated, it's nothing more than a matter of dying early or dying later. Since you have chosen to offend the royal family, you can only hope to survive by helping the Chen family to establish itself. When the gods fight, the innocent will suffer. It's useless to ask anyone for reason. Only by gambling with your head, you can't risk your wealth and honor. The Lord of Tianyuan City snorted coldly. Major sects, are you sure you want to be our enemy? For a moment, the power surged and the momentum changed greatly. The many city lords behind him also looked like they would start fighting as soon as they agreed. The powerful men of many sects also stimulated the power to confront. The Lord of Qinyan sect said, We are not enemies with you, but we just want you to go back first. Until the Emperor speaks, they are only responsible for checking this power and helping to protect the Chen family. Otherwise, they are afraid of disrupting the Emperor's plan. For a moment, tit for tat, suddenly, a huge warship appeared in the sky. Chapter 62, Pluck the feathers of the passing geese, leave the skins of the beasts, and attack at th. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sensing the movement, many powerful men of the sect looked over, their eyes slightly warm. The ancestor of the Chen family is back. So fast. That warship is really enviable. At the same time, they breathed a sigh of relief and didn't care about the crazy friction with the city lords. The emperor will deal with all this, and they are only responsible for assisting. On the other hand, the faces of the lords of the major cities changed slightly, and they were finally going to see the legendary young ancestor of the Chen family. In any case, they gathered together to deal with it this time. And they didn't plan to leave easily. It's good to see the real master, so as not to waste words with these old guys, look at each other and respond immediately. However, this worship is probably the super spiritual weapon that Luo Yunzong used to fight against the Zhang family in a blitzkrieg. It's really tempting, when the attention of many powerful men is placed elsewhere. Among the guards carried by the city lords, 7 or 8 commanders showed a slightly different look. Among them, there are 2 very cool women. They were all undercover agents of the Chen family. All the members of the Chen family went out to welcome the return of the mistress. All this took less than 2 hours on the road, the rest of the time was spent fighting or watching fights. Of course, I also took a trip at public expense, so when I came back, it was already the next day. The atmosphere on the star battleship was very good. They were all family members, so naturally they were happy. Yang Lingqing also came back for the first time in more than 10 years. I didn't know how the Chen family was doing, and I was looking forward to it. Soon, in a blink of an eye, the battleship was approaching. Welcome the Emperor back. Many powerful men from the sects bowed to the star battleship, respectfully. They also heard that the Saint of Luoyun sect broke off the engagement with the Emperor. So, Chen Fan is very young. This is also the reason why they chose to surrender quickly to show their loyalty. Being young means unlimited power. The main reason is that they are too young. They have never seen an emperor in his early 20s. It refreshes their cognition, not to mention that Chen Fan personally came to the door, which really gave them enough face. They can't be ungrateful and have to admit the emperor's pattern. The faces of the lords of the major cities changed again. The ancestor of the Chen family is indeed a powerful emperor. These old guys are finally willing to say that their guess is correct, but it is the worst result, which they don't want to see. On the other hand, the undercovers in the group are excited and confirmed. I don't know which ancestor of the Chen family has become an emperor undercover. Awesome, a role model for us. Unbelievable. For a while, I began to look forward to seeing the appearance of this ancestor. However, before I saw the figure of the ancestor, a terrifying breath came to my face. There was no obstruction. Under the emperor's power, the lords of the major cities turned pale in an instant. With a bang, both were shocked and flew backwards, and a storm was set off inside. The city lord secretly said, "Not good." Chen family ancestor, what's the intention? Tianyuan city lord gritted his teeth and roared in dissatisfaction. He was beaten before he even saw it. The sect masters were also caught off guard and began to gloat over the misfortune of others. Chen Fan had naturally noticed the movement of the Chen family and saw that the formation had been attacked and was in ruins. On the star battleship, he looked down at the crowd. He snorted coldly, "You still ask me why? Is my Chen family so popular?" The city lords came and even took action. Why? If you are not careful, your home will be stolen. He wants to see what reasons these people have. As for the fact that the masters of the major sects can come to deal with it, it doesn't matter. It was agreed in advance. When they saw Chen Fan, the undercovers who were accidentally injured were also confused. It turned out to be the young master. How did he become the great emperor ancestor? My mind was buzzing and I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know why, but I was shocked. Many city lords looked very ugly. They didn't feel good to be looked down upon, but they had no temper when facing the emperor-level strongmen. They didn't care. Not to mention that the Chen family's ancestor had just returned and attacked them directly. His eyes were horrified. Tianyuan city lord slapped the ground with his palm, then stood up and flew directly in the air, trying to look at Chen Fan. After all, he was a royal family. How could he be easily shocked? However, just after he jumped up, the terrifying force made him fall uncontrollably. With a bang, he fell to the ground again and couldn't move. Tianyuan city lord, you don't need to answer. Chen Fan shouted coldly. Even if he has the background of the great Xia royal family, a few saint-level cultivators are not qualified. However, the largest city in Tianyuan domain is 100 times larger than the city of their Chen family. It is not difficult for the lord of Tianyuan city to recognize it. Hearing this, everyone's face became extremely exciting. What a fierce imperial power. The lord of Tianyuan city gritted his teeth. A hero would not suffer a loss in front of him. Chen family ancestor, we are here to congratulate the Chen family on its establishment. It happened that the ancestor went out, so we waited for a long time, and on a whim, we tried to test it. Humph, what a congratulation. How could Chen Fan believe it? Is this the way the city lord congratulates? Just want to shock the Chen family, think he dare not offend the royal family. Without saying a word, he took action again and pressed down with one palm. His face was indifferent, the goose plucks the feathers when it passes, and the beast leaves the skin when it leaves. Since you are here, take your lives to congratulate my Chen family. Provocation. He didn't want to confront the city lords too early. Since they couldn't help but come to the door, it was not his fault. On the warship, Yang Lingqing heard the commotion and was a little worried about his son out of habit. Thinking about his. Wait a minute. Ancestor. I was stunned. Even the mother came back and lowered her generation. Bai Fengyao was so smart, Grandma, Master is a little bit as naughty as me, so there's no need to argue with him. The major city lords looked at this imperial palm coming so fast, as if they were in an ice cellar. They were so overwhelmed that they couldn't breathe, their faces were filled with fear, and they were going to kill him if they disagreed. How dare Chen Fan? Chen family, could it be that they want to make enemies of our royal family? The lord of Tianyuan city directly took out the background, he was completely scared. It was true that he wanted to shock, but he didn't want to die here. Isn't Chen Fan a little afraid? However, there is one word in response to him. Die. Under the pressure of Emperor Mitian's palm, Saint is also an ant, the eyelids of the strong men from all major sects are twitching wildly. Fortunately, those who understand current affairs are heroes, and we are heroes. At the same time, the undercover agents were frightened. We don't want to die young and be killed by mistake. He quickly shouted, Master, Chen family branch. Before he finished speaking, the emperor's palm was right in front of him, and the close distance began to disappear. It was as if everything had been expected. But there is nothing wrong with the feeling of death. After leaving the gate of hell once, I will jump wildly with lingering fear, my face will be pale, and I will sweat. So scared. The major city lords knew that the emperor's power was terrifying, and they were so frightened that they were sweating profusely. Are they still alive? Extremely scared inside, this ancestor of the Chen family really didn't care about their royal background. This wild man, this Nigu, is not ordinary big. But, why stop? Did you hear something? Bewildered. It doesn't work for the royal family, but just a word from my subordinates will do. Chen Fan knew that there was an undercover agent, and it was a warning, so he took precautions in advance and glanced at the group. You continue to talk. The powerful men from all major sects watched silently. We are familiar with this. Chapter 63, Undercovers appear, the city lords, the Chen family city expands 10,000 times, the ancie. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 63 The Undercovers found that the major city lords, the Chen family city expanded 10,000 times, and the huge city was deserted. Soon, a group of leaders stood up with trembling courage. He bowed and signaled. Master, the fifth branch of the Chen family, Chen Weifeng, requests to return to the clan. The third branch of the Chen family, Chen Beijiao, requests to return to the clan. The third branch of the Chen family, Chen Beiwan, requests to return to the clan. The main branch of the Chen family. 8 people spoke up, both men and women. Sorry, city lord, we are showing our cards and quit. On the other hand, the major city lords were dumbfounded. It was a bolt from the blue. There was a ghost. 8. They only brought 8 undercovers from the door. Bei Jiao, you. The lord of Tianyuan city was completely confused. He was the leader of the army, and she was also a beautiful woman. She didn't even dare to say that she wanted to develop a love story. She even betrayed him. It turned out that she was not called Chen Beijiao. Wait, master. Chen Fan was not the ancestor. How young should he be, or a great emperor? As if dead, we were fooled. Chen Beijiao ignored the lord of Tianyuan city and waited for the young master to speak. The city guards were dizzy and scanned back and forth. On the other hand, the Chen family was not surprised and familiar with it. Chen Fan hummed, since they are all members of the Chen family, then come back. There are a lot of undercovers again, it's even harder than finding fault. Yes, master. Hearing this, the commanders changed their camps without blushing or jumping, and even smiled. We have returned from studying. The city lords were so angry that they almost fainted. Not only did they fail to achieve their goal, but they were also beaten up. Even the insignificant ant commanders dared to betray them. But these city lords can hide for a while, but they are not undercover agents of the Chen family. Chen Fan will still wipe them out. It's not time to settle accounts. Escape, must escape. For a while, without saying a word, they took the opportunity to flee frantically. They can only leave, and this hatred must be avenged. They are unwilling to stay here before they enter the Chen family. Still want to leave? Chen Fan stood with his back to his chest, and suddenly noticed that an unconscious old man fell to the ground in the distance, and he was instantly cold. Don't leave any, go directly. Needless to say, his soul was searched, but as long as he was alive, he could save him. To establish power, it is natural to have the responsibility to protect a certain family, whether it is a noble family, a royal family, or a clan. Because the region is large and more complicated, especially when fighting against foreign races, it should be so. I heard that the strong men of the major sects went directly. The major gods and demons pavilion masters did not hesitate at all. At the same time, 7 holy realm puppets surrounded them from all directions. It can be said to be earth-shaking. Time and space were affected and disordered, and dozens of holy realm strong men went out, with great momentum. There is no martial ethics at all, but listening to the emperor is right, and the major city lords were surrounded from all sides, and they were angry. First, they were betrayed by their ant subordinates, and then they were beaten up by a group. There is no martial ethics. They immediately started looking for a breakthrough. As long as Chen Fan doesn't drag it out, they still have a chance. But, how can there be so many saint realms? Those lifeless beings are also saint realms. What kind of situation is this? The Chen family is rebelling against the sky. However, it's not over yet. Several puppet alliances in the tribulation realm are also as good as a saint. Divided into several waves, overwhelming and dense, the lord of Tianyuan city was horse, human sea tactics. As for some tribulation realm strongmen who accompanied them, they could only be beaten. Puff, vomiting blood. When Chen Fan saw this, he turned around and looked at the many Chen family members with a serious face. This move is to demonstrate to you that in the future, when you encounter danger, you can run away and shake people, never fight hard, and you can fight in a group, never fight alone. The world is big, but saving your life is the most important. As long as you have the Green Mountains, you will not be afraid of running out of firewood. Other families put face first, but our Chen family puts people first. Do you understand? Compared to the large families with hundreds of thousands of people, the Chen family does not have many people, which is a root. He, the ancestor, has a heavy burden and a long way to go. Many people nodded quickly, and the ancestor said that it made sense. There was a tearing howl in my ears. Ah, Chen family, are you looking for death? Under the group fight, the attitudes of the major city lords were broken. When has a saint, or a powerful garrison of the royal family, been so humiliated? Chen Fan didn't even give them a chance to congratulate him, and killed them. Is he really not afraid, or is he just pretending to be afraid? Pa. Chen Fan slapped the city lord to death with a slap, then he reminded, this move is also to demonstrate to you that you should not provoke at the critical moment, otherwise you will only die faster, and you should be flexible and versatile. In addition, you must remember the problem of dying from talking too much. It is true that you can talk less and keep silent. Do you understand? This point has been reminded to the major gods and demons, and the family members should also take this opportunity to remind them. Everyone nodded quickly. Understand. Using the saint as a demonstration, the memory is still fresh and dare not forget. After a while, under the overwhelming bombardment, the three gods and demons led by the pavilion masters completely eliminated the lords of the major cities. Everything returned to calm, except for the traces of fighting, as if nothing had happened. Whether they were undercover or not, they were all shocked and could not calm down for a long time. The strong men in the Holy Realm are not cabbages. If it were not for the relationship with the ancestors, they would not be able to contact them at all at ordinary times with their level. Now, it is used for demonstration. After destroying a group, the comprehensive top-level strength of Tianyuan domain must be greatly weakened. What a boldness! However, the Chen family can only wipe out the alien races and then strengthen itself to make up for the lack of top-level strength in Tianyuan domain. After all, this belongs to the top-level civil strife level of Tianyuan domain, but it is not easy. It takes endless years to cultivate a strong man in the Holy Realm, and it may not work, and the major Dao domains also have a competitive relationship. When the Dao domains compete for opportunities and resources, and the Tianjiao battle, they can only fight the ancestors first, fighting the ancestors with tears. Chen Fan stood with his back to his back. There are many emperor-level strongmen in the Daxia royal family. It is indeed useful for the major city lords to use their background to intimidate him, because he has to think about his clansmen, especially when the family is just beginning to appear. It is not perfect and a little hasty, but since he came to the door, there is no discussion. To gain a foothold, first of all, you must not lose your momentum. You can't tolerate any loss, especially in this situation. Only a quick knife can cut the Gordian knot. This is the decision. Moreover, worrying about the royal family making things difficult, is it possible that the royal family is not afraid of him at all? The weight of an emperor, the more powerful, the more it knows. The royal family will not easily do things that hurt both sides, but will only exert pressure. Because in that case, it will only benefit other royal families, which is a big gain and loss. These city lords are afraid that they have seen his energy and wildness. After all, when a family that has just shown its edge suddenly appears, anyone will be unwilling to accept it. It is also at this time, ding, wipe out the lords of the major cities, remove the stumbling blocks of family expansion. Congratulations to the host for winning the reward. Chen City, automatically expand 10,000 times. Hearing this, Chen Fan was shocked. 10,000 times. That is the largest city in Tianyuan territory. No, there are few in the entire wilderness continent that can compare to it. Soaring into the sky, overlooking the earth, it is clear to see it this way. Everyone doesn't know what the ancestor is doing. Even the masters of the major sects who just finished fighting, the masters of the gods and demons, are also confused. By Feng Yao ran over. Wow, I always feel that the master is pretending to be 13 again. Then, the next scene made them unforgettable. The man in the sky, in a moment, did not move at all, and the surrounding Chen family city, the endless wasteland and plains, shook continuously, and the space hummed. Then, one building after another rose from the ground, and this is the core area, spreading rapidly, and soon, they were just outside the city, and now they are running above the city. Subconsciously looking at the ground, this is not over yet. The building is expanding crazily at a certain speed. Soon it became boundless, and you can't see the corners at a glance. A huge city in the wilderness. At the same time, the surrounding cities were inexplicably merged into it, and all the cultivators were confused. What happened? Chen Fan smiled. With his ability to expand and build a city, it is not difficult, but this kind of feat of being able to expand 10,000 times without moving, with just one thought, obviously has more content. Everyone can only describe it as being greatly shocked. P.S. I saved the manuscript for a long time, and I have updated twice today. I will sort out the outline tomorrow depending on the situation. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _type, mix. Chapter 64, The Chen family secures the huge city, and the divine tablet of enlightenment. The Ancie. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 64, Settle the Chen family in Anbang City, and enlighten the divine monument. The Taiyue monument. Bai Fengyao's eyes widened. and her exquisite mouth turned into an O shape. I know that master always does some big things behind my back without saying anything. He didn't even say hello, and as a disciple, I didn't feel any sense of participation. Young Lingqin was stunned on the spot, thinking that it must be good under the command of the son of the Chen family, but he didn't expect such a big city. And it expanded endlessly under his nose. Others watched the magnificent city being built rapidly, with ups and downs. This scene impacted the visual nerves and was extremely shocking. In their eyes, it was no different from a miracle. They didn't dare to ask or speak, for fear of disturbing, but the activities inside were extremely exciting, staring at each other, as if speaking with their eyes. The emperor is awesome. He just stood there, motionless, and expanded the city of 10,000 miles with a thought. It can be said to be a super city as vast as the ocean. It was effortless, and he didn't even use a little spiritual power. No, it was just a breath. In fact, the emperor just glanced. The ancestor is awesome. With one look, the Chen family's Anbang city. Desolate city. The masters of the major sects were shocked beyond words and completely convinced. This scene is exaggerated and outrageous. They thought they couldn't do it so easily. I'm afraid it's only the legendary supreme law, right? The masters of the gods and demons gazed with their beautiful eyes and sighed. It's so big, that the endless city of Wu, stretching endlessly, seems to be an endless automatic reproduction. It seems that a long time has passed, but compared to such a feat, it seems to be extremely short. At about the same time, Chen Fan knew that 13 was over. Yes, in this way, the regional foundation of the Chen family is considered to be a stable group, and the only thing missing is the population. Others, who couldn't recover for a long time, still sighed with excitement, witnessing the miracle with their own eyes, and by Feng Yao flew into the air, and a beautiful figure came over. Master, how did you do it? Teach me. After learning it, go back and dismantle the Wufeng clan, without doing it yourself, without consuming spiritual power, just take a look and you can build it yourself. Increase your sense of participation and contribute to the clan. Girl, do you want to learn everything? Chen Fan glanced at his eldest disciple. Bai Fengyao nodded seriously, her eyes full of expectation, her mind full of thoughts of dismantling the Phoenix clan and rebuilding it, extremely serious. Chen Fan said solemnly, when you reach the level of your master, you will naturally learn it. Indeed, it is not too difficult for the emperor to create simple things at will, but it requires a lot of power, unless you master a higher level of power and become a top emperor. For example, the law, but that kind of thing is too rare, not everyone can comprehend it, it requires great opportunities and chances, and it is hard to find. Bai Fengyao heard that this is the case. Okay, master, then I will practice well. Silently in his heart, you can't eat hot tofu in a hurry, you can't eat hot tofu in a hurry. Xiao Yu on the battleship envied this big and fat senior sister, who could stand beside the master so confidently. No, I have to work hard. Don't drag the master's legs. Yang Lingqing and Ling Qingqing watched silently, and the look in their eyes when they looked at Chen Fan's back said it all. Chen Fan smiled, this girl wanted to join in any excitement anyway. Then he looked down from the air. This is the core area of the Chen family, where the divine crystal vein is located. It's better to encounter than to choose, and it just so happens that the sign-in rewards in the past few days can be arranged directly. Chen Fan then chose a good place and pointed it over. Boom, a cliff rose from the ground below, extremely high, comparable to the cloud peak in the city. Immediately afterwards, a huge divine stone monument suddenly fell on it, standing between the ground, intimidating. On it, there are several sharp and mysterious characters. Enlightenment monument. Just one look at it seems to make people feel uneasy. This is the enlightenment cliff of my Chen family. He murmured. Then, he pointed again and pointed to another place. Tianyuan monument. A huge solid stone appeared with a bang. Guarding the foundation of my Chen family, the fortune is prosperous. Enlightenment monument, with understanding, can improve the disciples' understanding, absolutely rare in the world. And Tianyuan monument is the foundation of the family's fortune. It is also a powerful divine stone that can detect the talents of family disciples, automatically communicate the power of Tao, and even give disciples the illusory power of fortune. Chen Fan was very satisfied. Everyone watched the emperor busying himself, and they didn't dare to ask or say anything. They only knew that the emperor got 2 big stones out, but we noticed that the 2 stone tablets were definitely extraordinary. We don't know what they are exactly. Bai Fengyao was stunned. The foundation stone of the clan. It looks even more powerful than the phoenix steel of our phoenix clan. Chen Fan turned around and looked at everyone, and his deep voice spread out. This is the enlightenment divine steel. From now on, it will be the enlightenment cliff of our Chen family, helping the disciples of the family to understand the Tao and improve their understanding. And that is the Tianyuan steel, which will keep the fortune of our Chen family from being lost. It gives the power of luck to the clan members. Enlightenment divine steel. Tianyuan steel. Everyone was shocked. The emperor was really swift and decisive. The foundation of the family was solved on the spot. Fast, too fast. This thing can improve your understanding and give you luck. It is really amazing and tempting. The powerful people are very tempted. I wonder if they will move to Chen's house, but think about it, the fallen city lords have become the sacrifices for the founding of the Chen family. They feel sorry for them for a second, and Bai Fengyao began to think about this thing. It should not be moved away, otherwise the master will beat her. I wonder if they will move the Phoenix clan here. Then, Chen Fan took out some porcelain bottles casually. Okay, the masters of the major sects, this is what you deserve, it will help you. It is some blood and Jojo Xuanhuan water. The subordinate forces must be cultivated, because they are the first line of defense to protect the Chen family. It is the eyes of the founding clan. Seeing this, many powerful people from the sects were shocked and quickly took it with both hands. They didn't dare to see what it was. Thank you, great emperor, for the gift. This is our duty. All of them spoke. The things given by the great emperor must be extraordinary. They were ecstatic. Okay, you go back to the sect to deal with the remaining affairs. If there is any change, just notify me as soon as possible. Chen Fan reminded, there are more things to deal with next, so don't be careless. Yes, great emperor, we will take our leave. The masters of the major sects left afterwards. The Chen family officially returned to the family to reorganize. There are so many things to deal with, and the city of Xuanhuan must be planned and divided, at the same time. The entire Abyss domain didn't know what happened. Anyway, it was quite sudden. The masters didn't notice it a little bit, just a few rumbles. The grass didn't change color, the boundless earth changed, the grass fell into the city. It was really sudden, the grass fell into the city. It was simply incredible. At this moment, Luoyun sect, the sect noticed the movement, and all the disciples began to look solemn and restless, running out to watch. What is that? Wow, it seems to be a city. It's a city. So big. What's going on? It's only a few miles away from our Luoyun sect. Confused, looking at each other. The sect was not attacked by anyone, but by a city, which occupied the surrounding area of our Luoyun sect. It stopped expanding only when it reached the door of the house. Xuanhuan looked at the city, which was less than a few miles away from the sect gate, confused and silent. What the hell? How did it come to the door of our Luoyun sect? Shouldn't it go into the city when it goes out later? Or should it go around? I don't know why the master didn't come back after dealing with the Zhang family. Ba and Chen Fan are together again. Poof. Chapter 65, Unrest in Baidi State, Chi Yao Kingdom, Emperor Chi Yao. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xuanhuan suffered too much pain in her heart. Master has to rely on Chen Fan. Do things for Chen Fan. And she has lost all the qualifications to contact Chen Fan. She can see everything she wants. My father said that cause and effect reincarnate, it's just a cycle of cause and effect, so I quickly comforted myself. I just don't know why this huge city appears. Let's wait until Master comes back to deal with it. That's all I can think of. A few days passed. With the arrival of the ancient giant city, the top-level structure of the entire Tianyuan domain has undergone drastic changes with the force of thunder. even though the situation was still unclear, it can be said that in an instant, the world was turned upside down, and the energy was so great that people were frightened. Of course, we didn't think too much about it. We could only look at this change. The huge city descending from the sky has become a hot topic recently. Everyone knows it in the streets and alleys. Besides sighing, they are more admired and envied. The powerful saint-level men walked excitedly after receiving the Panga blood and 9 heavens divine spring water as gifts from the Emperor. Absolutely extraordinary. Start practicing in seclusion immediately, because the news here has been hidden for too long. We need to deal with the Chen family together, bet on the fate of the Chen family, and lead the entire Tianyuan domain to become an emperor-level Dao domain. It can make our sects prosper as well. Therefore, one's own strength is also particularly important. As for the small affiliated forces under our sect, naturally they don't have the right to choose. Just stick to one layer after another and do what they do honestly. Don't ask any questions. The surrounding Dao realms were just looking at the excitement. The Tianyuan territory next door is in turmoil and the top structure has changed. We are taking care of it, but with such a close distance, we always suspect that our interests will be damaged. It is always right to take precautions in advance, especially among the top power players and families, who are even more restless, after such a big change, who on earth has such terrifying energy. It can be said that all obstacles can be eliminated in a very short time, which is almost equivalent to taking over the entire Tianyuan territory. There were still some signs of success. The Zhang family, the largest family in the Tianyuan territory, was wiped out. However, before they could react, in a few days, the Tianyuan territory was already in trouble. It can be described as a thunderous force. Not to mention, the power of the giant city descending from the sky is shocking. Some people have seen this situation before, and it can be done by a strong person who is not an emperor. Of course, they are controlled by the emperor-level experts, but there is someone who can take care of them, and that is the nearby royal family, the Daxia dynasty. At the same time, the entire Baidi prefecture's redundant realm began to turmoil, because the movement was too huge. Of course, most of them can only eat melons. The very few Dao realms that have strong emperors begin to have undercurrents. After all, many people had seen the vision that happened some time ago with their own eyes, so it was a secret, and now that such a big event is happening in the Tianyuan domain, it must have been the birth of a powerful emperor realm person, right in Tianyuan territory. The distant Taihuang Dao domain, the Taihuang Holy Land. Many saints gathered together, and their faces were not good-looking. The emperor fell in some time ago. This time, the Tianyuan domain is very likely to give birth to a strong emperor. Could it be that this powerful man from the Tianyuan domain caused the Holy Land to lose the emperor? Most likely. Then what should we do? Just wait and see what happens. Without the emperor in charge, there is no other way. You can do it if you are willing, but the family heritage that has been accumulated for endless years is just like a nightmare, and who can be willing to do so? But what can be done? Skills are just like people. How about we unite with Chi Yao Kingdom? Deal with this new emperor. Someone suggested. After all, within a state, the sudden appearance of a new emperor always makes people want to press him to the ground and rub him. That is, it is a shock. No matter what level you are at, the top-level experts are also divided into different levels, which means they are divided into big and small king levels. After all, he is just a new kid and has not grown. He may pose a threat to the established emperor. Okay. How can Emperor Chi Yao care about him? He has no right to speak. He is just humiliating himself. Wait. As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. Chi Yao Dao domain, here, there is also a powerful emperor sitting in charge. The situation is called Chi Yao Kingdom, which was named after opening up a small world. In the kingdom of Chi Yao, a woman opened her eyes. She is Emperor Chi Yao. The temperament is ancient and shocking, and the control of power is also back to nature. It is very bland, very obscure, but extremely terrifying. Emperor has been in seclusion for a long time. I didn't expect Baidi to be able to regenerate an emperor. Who is it? He muttered to himself. He seemed to be awake, slightly dazed and silent. Then some smiles appeared. Interesting. The aura of Emperor Taihuang has dissipated from the world. It's a bit mysterious to make Taihuang fall. It seems to be sentimental. Moreover, even if she is in seclusion, she can still have insight into everything in the world. The Emperor and Xuanji have been fighting each other for countless years. They are indistinguishable from top to bottom. They are both enemies and friends. Now, she is reincarnated and will return again after cultivating. I don't know when. It's time to wait. It will be a long time until Emperor Xuanji comes back and she reaches her peak state, and then the male and female will compete against each other, but at this level, without the right partner, it seems so lonely. With the fall of Taihuang, there will no longer be any enemies in Baidi state. Of course, Emperor Taihuang was her opponent from the beginning. She and Emperor Xuanji have always been competing for the top spot as the greatest emperor in Baidi province. Unfortunately, there was no clear distinction. Then, the figure of the great Emperor Chi Yao disappeared silently. Tianyuan territory, who is it? Only a clear voice was left. She also didn't know which saint-level peak powerhouse broke through the Emperor realm. However, she would definitely fight with this biological great emperor to determine who was the big king or the small king. Because in the entire Baidi state, the great emperors must also be ranked in order. This is the rule, of course. Just point to them. When Xuanji returns, they will compete again. Chen family. These days, the Chen family has been very busy, and Chen Fan is arranging the division of the city. It is divided into the core, inner city, outer city, etc. The outer city is also divided into 8 rings. Whoever lives in a certain ring lives in a certain ring. The core is naturally the residence of the ancestor. The base of the Chen family bloodline. The inner city is all the bloodline of the Chen family branch, or the disciples with the surname of the surname. The outer city is all the surname of the surname, and various cultivators, but compared to this huge city, the population is really scarce. It seems that it is time to recall the members of the Chen family who are stranded outside. Chen Fan thought so. The reason why the news was not released before was that the situation was not stable, and it was easy to kill by mistake or be picked out and wiped out, but now, the Chen family is the only one in the entire Tianyuan domain. Even so, who dares to wipe out the disciples of the Chen family? In a word, thousands of undercovers went to the Chen family. What a spectacular scene. This is the background and courage given by the family. There is no reason to explain. I don't know how many there will be. Chen Fan also knew that he hoped there would be too few, and 1,000 or so would be fine. With the base number, it is only a matter of time for the bloodline to expand. Recruiting family disciples also needs to be scheduled. The family needs disciples with the surname of Wang, because it is possible to accumulate a strong foundation in a short period of time. And a powerful puppet is ultimately just a transition to make up for the lack of strength and foundation. What we really need are living strong men. We need fresh blood to cultivate. As for our own disciples, we have to cultivate and take good care of them in the future. As for the movements of the royal family, we will not consider them for the time being. We can just adapt to the situation. Now expanding the family is still the top priority. Chen Fan suppressed his thoughts. System, sign in. Ding, sign in successfully. Congratulations to Su for obtaining the source of the law of time. Chapter 66 The Enraged Emperor of Daxia. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 66 The Furious Emperor Xiao. The law of time. Chen Fan's body trembled. Although this subsistence level reward is not a cultivation level, it is definitely the most important power for the powerful emperor realm, not to mention the law of time and space, which is one of the supreme and most mysterious powerful laws. He was thinking about this thing before, as if Chow Chow is coming. It's still the source of the law. Ding, host, this system understands you and cares about you. System, you are so naughty. Chen Fan complained, then perceived the original power of the time law in the system space, just like an ethereal divine power group, extremely mysterious. There is a difference between the law and the source of the law. The law is described as a road, and the source is like the vast ocean, which is the core source of the law. Moreover, with the origin of the law, there are almost unlimited nesting dolls, so that disciples can also try to understand the law of time. Of course, that's all for later. With the original power of the law of time, we will definitely be able to open up the long river of time and control the flow speed of time. Thinking of this, Chen Fan's expression became even more intense. This is simply a timely help for the current Chen family. What they lack most now is time. Moreover, the quality of sign-in rewards is quite good these days. 9 drops of ancestral phoenix essence and blood, 9 drops of ancestral dragon essence and blood, and an imperial level skill called the ancient divine and demonic skills. There is something about this ancient god and demon art, it probably means becoming black and twice as strong. I don't know if I'm wearing smoky makeup. It's just for the various pavilion masters to practice. After all, as a secret force, it is necessary to practice other skills and magical powers to hide your identity. In addition, Chen Fan also has rewards and resources for conquering various affiliated sections. It can be said that you only make money but don't lose money, you don't brag and you don't make any mistakes. He also placed the ancient god and demon field on the outside of this giant city. It was extremely huge and could be used as a geographical defense. It is also the base of the ancient gods and demons pavilion. The same is true for the ancient secret realm that was previously rewarded. It has many opportunities and has officially become the training ground for their Chen family. Thinking of this, Chen Fan sent a message to the disciples of the Chen family and ordered them to go down and recall the undercover agents from the entire Tianyuan territory. And he started meditating, directly integrate the origin of the law of time into the body. Qingdi State, the palace of the Xia royal family is located here. It can be regarded as belonging to the relatively peripheral area of Qingdi Prefecture. The entire Xia dynasty occupies countless areas and borders Baidi Prefecture, so it can be regarded as a dynasty with territory across states. At this moment, Emperor Xia, who was standing in front of the dragon chair, was extremely angry. He glanced at the officials below. Who is it that dares to kill the strong guard of my royal family? We will lose one of our realms. In addition to managing various regions, those strong men who are stationed in the area are also their informants. They are also the capital for their royal family to expand their territories and use them to conquer the world, and they are all saints. It is stronger than the Taoist power within the Xia royal family, just to protect the land of Xia. However, now that something like this is happening right under our noses, the losses are huge. It must be a provocation, a challenge to the imperial power. The courage to encroach on the royal family's territory is extraordinary. Your Majesty, calm down. A minister hurriedly spoke. Although the Baidi Prefecture's Tianyuan territory is on the edge of our Xia dynasty, if something like this happened, it must have been the work of a strong person. It is said that an emperor was suddenly born in a small clan. The ministers also have some difficulties. They say it's okay, but it's really difficult to solve it. This powerful emperor appeared out of nowhere and was completely unheard of. It was like it came out of nowhere, caught off guard and unprepared. The royal family did not have time to react or respond. How could a small clan give birth to the emperor? Emperor Xia was very angry. He didn't believe it at all. Without a strong family, how could the emperor be born so easily? But after searching all over, I couldn't find the origin of this small Chen family clan. Could it be that they are all deliberately hiding themselves? And then find the right moment to make a big splash? There is no reason for this. After hearing this, the ministers didn't know how to offer suggestions and looked at each other in confusion. Emperor Xia stood up with in mind. No matter what happened, he could not sit idly by and ignore what had happened. Emperors can be born right under your nose and expand wantonly. Do you still have our Xia dynasty in your eyes? That he said this just for the sake of face, but in his heart he also knew the weight of a strong emperor. It is reasonable for the strong to carve up territory, but carving up their Xia dynasty's territory is something I definitely don't want to see, let alone a slap in the face. If you can nip it in the bud, or conquer it early, then it's okay. Now come directly, how can you not be angry? Send a strong member of my royal family to pass on my will to meet this person in the Tianyuan territory. No matter what method is used, if this person is willing to surrender to me, I promise to forget about it and grant him the title of feudal prince. Establish him the qualifications of my own family. If you don't accept it, At this point, Emperor Xia's meaning was already obvious. He didn't want the royal family to confront a powerful emperor, and if both sides lost, it would be a gain for others, and the loss would not be worth the loss, but it's not okay to just pretend that you haven't seen it. Where is the majesty of the royal family? Your Majesty, I have something to say. A minister stood up. The other party is a strong emperor. To prevent unforeseen consequences, we should pay attention to it. It is the best policy to send me, the emperor of the royal family, to go there. No. Emperor Xia directly denied it. To attack my royal family is disrespectful. How can you send Emperor Xia to boost others' morale? It is the best policy to deter others. Otherwise, you think that my great country can do it without anyone, send Emperor Xia. It is not necessary, it seems to be flattering. And how strong can the new Emperor Xia be? I don't want to lose both sides, but if I want to be afraid, it should be that the other party is afraid of their Xia royal family. Besides, this is not a negotiation, he has already taken a step back. The other party had better not be ungrateful, of course. If their Xia dynasty can accept another Emperor Xia to surrender, then bad things will turn into good things. The ministers did not dare to disobey the emperor. Your Majesty is wise. They all said. Emperor Xia took a deep breath. Then he looked at a minister. Chen Gongting, I will send a strong general to accompany you. You are responsible for persuading this person to submit to my Xia. Do you have confidence? Hearing this, all the ministers changed color, but fortunately, it was not them. Otherwise, if they were to reason with a powerful emperor, their tongues might be torn off. It is undoubtedly like risking their lives to speak, and they are unwilling to do so. Hearing this, Chen Gongting quickly responded, Your Majesty, I have confidence. The tone is firm, the eyes are firm. Isn't this going home? Although I don't know if the Chen family is the Chen family, I will know it once I go there. It's difficult, too difficult. Being an undercover agent, I have to be sent out to complete the mission with my life. Okay. The Xia Emperor admired this person very much. If it is done, it will be a great achievement, and the reward will not be yours. Thank you, Your Majesty. Tianyuan domain, around the ancient giant city belonging to the Chen family, the Emperor Chi Yao is here. A glance at the boundless city in front of her. It's so vast. Hearing is hearing, seeing with her own eyes. This giant pen is simply not something that an ordinary emperor can do. Who is it? This made her more and more excited. Fight. Release your breath at the same time. As long as the other party senses it, they will definitely come. However, just as she came out, a giant monster rushed over directly. Emperor Chi Yao looked at the behemoth. Ancient mythical beast Qilin. It turned out to be a mythical beast guarding the city. Or an emperor beast that has grown to the 4th level. Shocked in her heart, no, 2 against 1 is not fair. It is necessary to talk to the other party. Qilin cannot interfere. Just as she was about to go out to deal with Qilin, she felt a terrifying force shaking out. The space was distorted, and the speed of time seemed to be affected by the giant. The face changed instantly. This aura, the aura of a powerful emperor who has broken through his cultivation. That I was stunned when I first arrived. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, _tabula. Push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _type, mix. Chapter 67 ended before it even began, with 3,000 Holy Realm puppets as a reward. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 67 has not started yet but has already ended. 3,000 Saint Realm puppets are rewarded. The core of the Chen family. Nowadays, this place is more than 100 times larger than the previous city, so there is enough space and the spiritual power is the most concentrated, which is a perfect place for cultivation and retreat. At this moment, after Chen Fan merged all the origins of the time law, his cultivation broke through again. The 3rd level of the Emperor realm. This time, thanks to this terrifying origin power, everything came naturally. Of course, it was also the supreme bone that suppressed the origin of the time law, which made it so fast. Moreover, the origin power of the time law is so majestic that his current cultivation is almost half a step away from entering the second level of the Emperor realm. Chen Fan suppressed the power fluctuations that had just broken through his cultivation, and everything returned to calm. He didn't care about a bottle of Xuanhuan, and couldn't wait to try it. With a casual stroke, the flow of time was changing at a speed visible to the naked eye, either fast or slow. With this law power, it's just around the corner to be in the top ranks of the ancient emperors. Emperor realm strongmen also have strong and weak points. This is the law. Suddenly noticed the movement outside the city. Emperor Chen Fan disappeared directly in the field. Such a movement and power fluctuations were also noticed by the Chen family. What a terrifying power! What just happened? It must be the movement of the ancestor. With their level, they were confused. This is Master's breakthrough. Bai Feng Yao is not surprised. I have seen the Emperor break through several times. However, Master broke through too fast, and I don't know what he did behind her back. Sure enough, as the book says, cultivation is like eating and drinking, there is no bottleneck, the so-called plug-in is huge. Xiao Yu is also stunned. Compared with Master, I am ordinary like dust, two extremes, crying. Hearing this, everyone was silent. Breakthrough. That's the Emperor. Got excited for a while. Ling Qingqing was speechless. How can I catch up with you? She has only broken through a few levels in the fusion realm, and her husband has also broken through a few levels in the Emperor realm. This gap is not ordinary. Suddenly she thought of something, and her palm was full of spiritual energy, and she gently touched her belly. Huh? I am going to be a mother at such a young age, and I look unbelievable. Confused, it was her husband who wanted it. In a room somewhere, Yang Lingqing sighed. It seems that it's time to tell Fanna those things. After returning again, in a short time, her son suddenly became a strong man in the Emperor realm. With his strength, he is definitely capable and qualified to know the secrets of the past. That secret is something that Emperor Xuanji is very interested in. At this time, outside the city, the pretty face of Emperor Chi Yao was extremely unbelievable and heavy. Unexpectedly, this newly born emperor made another breakthrough in such a short time. What luck and opportunity this is. It was too much of a blow. She had been in seclusion for so long, as if she was in seclusion on a dog. How could she bear it? It made her feel very uncomfortable. It was not that she was not confident, but she was not so confident after the comparison. Even if she had defeated the other party and became the first emperor of Baidi, but looking at the situation, at this speed, it would not take thousands of years for the master to change quickly. She noticed that the Emperor Beast Qilin was squatting on the side and watching her without a single move. She knew that the other party was coming. Who is it? You will know after seeing it. Then her eyes were expectant. She guessed that she should have seen it. After all, there were only a few people at the peak of the Holy Realm in Baidi, and they could be counted on one hand. Not everyone broke through to the Emperor realm. However, just after thinking about it, Emperor Chi Yao's face suddenly became horrified. Not good. It was as if everything about her was stuck in the mud, and she could not move. Her speed was becoming extremely slow, visible to the naked eye. Even the Emperor realm strongman could not break free in the first time. This is the law of time. The voice was hoarse. The new emperor actually controlled the law. And it was extremely powerful. I haven't seen the other party yet. She wanted to curse, because the degree of control of the power of the law also has strengths and weaknesses. The other party's law is like a torrent of rivers and seas. When Emperor Xuanji returns, he will be able to touch the mystery of the law of reincarnation. Wouldn't it be that Emperor Baidi will be left without a law? Bottom. No, absolutely not. Her eyes condensed. You are so easily bound to me, the other party's cultivation. It will definitely not be much worse than hers. I thought it was the second level of the Emperor realm before, so it seems that the other party has broken through to the third level or even the second level of the Emperor realm. Puff, unbelievable. Before she could break free, a finger suddenly appeared between her eyebrows, tapped gently. Her body was completely out of control, and she sat down directly. She was stunned. The Emperor was also like this when he met someone of the same level. The principle of power balance. This is the case after being suppressed, but being bullied like this gave her a huge blow to her inner pride. She was about to explode, but when she saw the figure in front of her, she was stunned. Ding, trigger the task, defeat Emperor Chi Yao and become the first emperor of Baidi. Reward. Congratulations to the host for winning the reward, summon 3,000 Holy Realm puppets. Ding, host, don't answer again. 3,000 Holy Realm puppets. Chen Fan felt that this reward was against the sky. They were all top-notch workers. Then he looked at Emperor Chi Yao in front of him. Emperor Chi Yao, what are you doing here at my Chen family? That he knew about the existence of Emperor Chi Yao. Because before, she always fought with his master. Her cultivation was in the upper level of the Emperor realm, which was also considered top level, much stronger than Emperor Xuanhuan, and this woman has a strong temperament. In this comparison, his master is just aloof. Of course, every emperor will become strong. It depends on who he is against, and it seems that Emperor Chi Yao has no hostility, so there is no need to talk nonsense to deal with her. The fastest speed in defeating her with thunder is the best solution. Emperor Chi Yao stared at Chen Fan with beautiful eyes, never seen it. She had never heard of it. Was Chen Fan sure that he was a peak Saint Realm expert before? I came to you, who are you? That it has ended before it even started, so why bother to humiliate yourself? But now you can only change the subject to cover up the embarrassment. The main reason is that Chen Fan looks too young and handsome. Chen Fan said calmly, I am the ancestor of the Chen family, and this is the domain of my Chen family. Emperor Chi Yao's icy face was not too anxious. He was defeated. But this Chen family? He had never heard of it. I am not as skilled as you, I lost. Qilin hadn't made a move yet, and she was defeated. Her head was buzzing. What is your cultivation level? Staring at Chen Fan, let me be willing to lose. Chen Fan did not hide it, the third level of the Emperor realm. Emperor Chi Yao was shocked. It's true. The third level of the Emperor realm has already mastered the power of the law, and it is effortless to defeat her. It is simply a demon-like existence, I have to admit it. Then he said, Emperor Tianyuan, are you interested in visiting my Chi Yao kingdom? Take the initiative to invite. Looking expectantly, he is too powerful. Chen Fan was stunned for a moment when he heard this address, but he didn't care, he dealt with it casually, I'm not interested. Since Emperor Chi Yao is fine, please go back. He didn't want to keep fighting. After being rejected, Emperor Chi Yao was slightly silent. It seems that if he wants to defeat Emperor Tianyuan, he can only wait for Emperor Xuanji to return and join forces. 2 against 1 is indeed unfair, but extraordinary times should be treated in extraordinary ways. There is no need to talk about martial ethics when it is not necessary. In this case, we will meet again. Emperor Chi Yao was about to turn around and leave. The movement here attracted many shadows. Suddenly, he saw Jiang Luoli and her sisters in the group and was stunned. From a distance, Ling Kong looked down and asked, why are you here? Suddenly, he felt cold. Although Emperor Tianyuan was extremely powerful, the behavior of these sisters betraying their master was definitely not worth promoting. How uncomfortable it would be for Emperor Xuanji to return. Jiang Luoli and the others had naturally met Emperor Chi Yao, and were also shocked when they were questioned, and they almost spoke unconsciously. Meet Emperor Chi Yao, we are here to see our junior brother. Chapter 68 The Messy Emperor Chi Yao Can't Go Back. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The 5 people were respectful and told the truth. After all, although Emperor Chi Yao is nothing, he has no hostility towards Empress Ya. With their junior brother supporting them behind them, they had to maintain respect and awe for a powerful emperor, and since they are both women, it is understandable that they have probably reached this level. They are lonely and cherish each other. Junior brother. Hearing this, it turned out that he didn't betray Xuanji. Emperor Chi Yao fell into a state of confusion, as if searching for his own memory. She has been rubbing against Emperor Xuanji for so many years, but she has never heard of it. I remembered it. Could it be that guy from back then? He blurted out subconsciously. Apart from this, she could not think of anyone else, but a child left a deep impression on her, but it was not worthy of her attention. She pays more attention to Emperor Xuanji. Chen immediately ate the melon and choked on himself. Although you are right, I have changed my mind. Jiang Luoli and the others silently looked at their junior brothers above their heads, then nodded. After Emperor Chi Yao noticed it, he followed their gaze and looked over. You have to look at Emperor Tianyuan's face to find a junior brother. Yes, after all, this is Emperor Tianyuan's plate, that's all. Since we bumped into it, the red lips activated. Emperor Tianyuan, these women are my good friends and disciples. If they want to find their junior disciples, please bear with me. As soon as these words came out, Jiang Luoli and the others looked strange. Emperor Chi Yao had misunderstood. Chen smiled and said, Emperor Chi Yao, don't worry, that's natural. Emperor Chi Yao felt a little relieved when he heard that Emperor Tianyuan was quite easy to get along with, and subconsciously glanced at the side of Chen's face seriously. However, Chen's next words. The senior sisters are looking for me, so of course I have no reason to stop them. Emperor Chi Yao froze on the spot, thinking he had heard wrongly. Emperor Tianyuan and their junior brothers? Don't spread rumors, don't believe rumors, don't Chi Yao. Emperor Tianyuan is joking. And Chen looked at Jiang Luoli and the others. Senior sister, come over and say hello to Emperor Chi Yao. According to his rules, now that you're here, don't leave. Stay. Suddenly, Jiang Luoli and the others beamed with joy and flew to Chen Jin's side. The delicate Di Chao even grabbed his junior brother's arm. I've met Emperor Chi Yao. Oh, it's good to have my junior brother supporting me. To be able to speak to a generation of empress at such a close distance, Master has the final say. Emperor Chi Yao was stunned on the spot, bolt from the blue, eyes wide open. You tell me that Emperor Tianyuan was the guy behind Xuanji. How is that possible? Just kidding. He's only a little bit older, not to mention how wonderful his face is. He smiled awkwardly and politely, and said restrainedly, God. Emperor Tianyuan, I can't hold back my words. How could it be? But looking at their relationship, it doesn't look fake, otherwise how could Jiang Luoli and the others be qualified to stand beside Emperor Tianyuan? My heart is in turmoil, and my mind is full of doubts. Chen didn't take it seriously. It doesn't matter. Emperor Chi Yao, this time I defeat you on behalf of Master. From now on, you don't have to fight anymore. Emperor Chi Yao didn't believe in evil. Are you really that kid? Expressing doubt. Everyone has to be doubtful when they come. It has only been 10 years, right? It's reasonable when she grows up, but it's unreasonable no matter how you look at it, when she grows up to be an emperor-level warrior like her and can crush her. Chen hummed and nodded. Need to prove it to you? Emperor Chi Yao shook his head. No need. Her eyes were fixed on Chen. If possible, she would like to give Chen a full body check to see if he had been taken away. Unfortunately, he was not the right one. In that case, let's go first. Wait. Chen interrupted directly. Emperor Chi Yao, since you are here, why bother to leave in a hurry? Upon hearing this, Emperor Chi Yao became more vigilant. Emperor Tianyuan, what do you mean? The voice became much deeper. It's true that she likes strong people, but Chen might also be the younger brother of Emperor Xuanji, so that's not okay. I wanted to invite Chen as a guest before. Fortunately, Chen didn't agree. Otherwise, if Emperor Xuanji returns, how will he treat her old partner? It's nothing. Chen then said with a smile, I just want to do my best to show my friendship and entertain you for Master. Plans can't keep up with changes. The reward of 3,000 Holy Realm puppets, no doubt, is definitely more than the number of Holy Realm strongmen from all the major dynasties of the clan and all the major families in the entire desert continent combined. In this way, there is no need to wait for that day. Only the power of the Emperor level is obviously still not enough, but it will take some time for the Empress Master's wife to return to her peak. Now, there is a ready-made one in front of her. I heard that Emperor Chi Yao had no expression on his face. Thank you for your kindness, but I have business commitments, so it's very inconvenient. She didn't know Chen's situation, so she wouldn't believe it easily, then turned around and left. Stop. Chen stood with his hands on his back. Great Emperor Chi Yao, I don't want to discuss it with you. It seems the only option is to grab it. Emperor Chi Yao obviously has an excuse and doesn't want to stay at all, so how can that be done? You can't leave. Emperor Chi Yao was startled for a moment, shouting so loudly. Could it be that Emperor Tianyuan thought she didn't want to give him face? Normal, but with such a threatening tone, she is a veteran of the imperial realm. His face changed, and he said coldly, Tianyuan, I admit that you are very powerful, but you want to, let me go. That before she finished, she found that she couldn't move at all and was at the mercy of others. She was extremely horrified. Why was Chen's power of law so terrifying? It was simply too majestic. Chen looked at her pretty face. Emperor Chi Yao, since you are here, help me before leaving. Of course, you don't have the power to choose. Senior sister, please bring Emperor Chi Yao to my Chen family as a guest. She smiled slightly. It was a good harvest. A worker who came to the door, Jiang Luoli and the others were confused. They didn't know what the junior brother wanted to do by kidnapping Emperor Chi Yao. Emperor Chi Yao, I'm sorry. They could only listen to the junior brother and leave with the immobile Emperor Chi Yao. Emperor Chi Yao's pretty face was stunned, and his heart was extremely messy. I never expected that he was fine when he came out, but he couldn't go back. Calm down. This is the first time I have seen such a thing. Accumulate experience. Tianyuan, if you have anything to say, just say it. That I was silent inside. Xuanji, your brother is so bad, so hateful, domineering, and bullying. When Xuanji comes back, I must have a good talk. Now I can't beat him, Chen said casually. It's a big thing, it must be you. Other emperors are too hostile, and I am worried about what I do. Emperor Chi Yao is good, and there is no interest involved, then we can start from the heart, and then make a deal. I will tell you later, now I can only offend you. Chen did not explain much. Emperor Chi Yao was silent again. Big thing? What big thing must I do? Mysterious. Tianyuan, my life and death are all in your mind, why do you have to do this? Is it necessary to kidnap me, the great emperor? How can I face people if it gets out? Not at all. I understand that you have doubts about me, so I have no choice but to do it. Chen didn't care. Anyway, you can't leave. At this time, Bai Fengyao saw this scene and slowly stopped, and the smile on her face gradually faded. No love. Master. Are you looking for a master's wife and child again? Chapter 69 The Always Messy Emperor Chi Yao. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Bai Fengyao knows very well that master has been thinking about this matter. Knows why. Emperor Chi Yao, who was silent and convinced, was helpless when he heard Chen Fan's words. When he suddenly heard this voice, he solidified into ice pimples on the spot. Child diamond suit. Horrified. The pupils of the beautiful eyes are dilated a few. Could it be that the so-called big event in Emperor Tianyuan's mouth is just this kind of thing? Give her, a bolt from the blue. My heart is extremely messy. Confused. The majestic empress of the generation actually wanted to. Her delicate body trembled and she almost exploded. The girl was obviously calling Chen Fan. Chen Fan was speechless. Girl, don't talk nonsense. You may have a little low self-esteem and social fear. I'll expose your master's background. Although from S point of view, is nothing impressive. Bai Fengyao curled her lips and smiled. Master, is it? This master lady is so beautiful. She's scared to death, but her master is there to tell her the truth. Of course. Chen Fan said seriously, your real master wife will come over in a moment and I can help you. Then he turned around and looked. Emperor Chi Yao, don't get me wrong, this girl speaks freely. When Emperor Chi Yao heard this, he felt a little bit wrong, and then continued to remain silent. Anyway, even if Chen Fan wanted to let her go, she had nothing to do. According to the law of time, time stands still and she simply breaks free. If Chen Fan hadn't been taken away from him, maybe he was the wrong guy. The great emperor. Upon hearing this, Bai Fengyao exclaimed, Master, your demands are becoming more and more demanding. Even my wife has to start with the great emperor. that she could see through Emperor Chi Yao's cultivation, but she was greatly shocked. And Emperor Chi Yao's heart almost stabilized when he was called, "Can you please respect me?" Bypass the word. However, she successfully captured the key words before and after, and the great emperor start. It means that Emperor Tianyuan already has a wife, but how can a strong emperor-level man be worthy of? Chen Fan's face turned dark, he was shocked, he was making a fuss. Is this a basic operation? When are the requirements getting higher and higher? He took out a drop of blood and handed it over. Girl, please ask more questions. This is a drop of ancestral phoenix essence and blood, go and practice quickly. Hurry and send this disciple away so that he can get down to business. As soon as Zhu Feng's blood came out, the surrounding space was dyed scarlet. Just like the thread of blood flowing, it started to spread like a fiber network, full of terrifying pressure and energy. When Bai Fengyao saw this, her face immediately became serious. Okay, master. Ancestral phoenix blood. The ancestor of the phoenix. It's even more powerful than the ancient phoenix blood of our ancient phoenix tribe. Also the essence and blood. Although knew where the master came from, it was right for to take him away quickly. You have to be smart enough to survive 30 chapters. Kaisen walked away holding a huge drop of ancestral phoenix blood to refine it. Ancestral phoenix essence and blood. Emperor Chi Yao couldn't believe it. Tianyuan was so generous to his disciples. He said in a deep voice, Tianyuan, this ancestral phoenix essence and blood is extraordinary. That girl knows how to stretch yourself out. When a powerful person from the imperial realm comes, he has to weigh the terrifying energy contained in it. Chen Fan smiled and said, Feng Yao comes from the ancient phoenix clan, and there is no one more suitable than her. Zhu Feng is a huge creature, and one drop of concentrated blood essence can be contained in 100,000 cc. An opportunity pays attention to the word fate and fitness, even if it is something that ordinary people cannot conquer. Under this kind of blending agent, the effect of 4 ounces can move 1,000 pounds. If Bai Fengyao can do it, then no one can. Don't worry, I quickly told you from a distance, girl, when refining the blood of the ancestral phoenix, remember to be impatient. Bai Fengyao turned around and smiled, Master, I have experience. She was tired of eating the ancient Feng clan's natural treasures, so she switched to other flavors. I will definitely conquer the ancestral phoenix essence and blood. Confidence is lifted directly above the head. The ancient phoenix clan. Emperor Chi Yao was speechless. This girl actually came from a powerful ancient clan. Become a disciple of Tianyuan. What operation? But she is in charge. It seems like there is nothing she can do if this girl calls her master's wife. Puff, however, she discovered that the spiritual energy here was so rich that it seemed to be stronger than the emperor-level forces. It is simply a holy place for spiritual practice. It's incredible. Soon, we arrived at Chen Fan's residence. Emperor Chi Yao couldn't calm down for a long time. The huge blood pool looked extraordinary, the energy was terrifying, and there was the god of heaven spring water. So much. This is too much. Tianyuan, who is he? Are you sure about the Chen family ancestor? The suspicion never stopped. With this kind of family background, cultivating a strong person in the imperial realm seems to be a matter of time. Chen Fan hummed, that's right, my name is at the top of the family tree. Emperor Chi Yao's mind was buzzing. Anyway, everything here was unusual. Tianyuan is the most mysterious one. Chen Fan didn't talk nonsense and went straight to the topic. Okay, Emperor Chi Yao, let's get down to business. I want to establish an ancient family, and I need your help. Emperor Chi Yao was really stunned for a moment. With such a vast city, various resources, and a super emperor, the ancient divine beast Qilin Emperor Beast, the ambition of Emperor Tianyuan could have been guessed, and it would be possible, but I didn't expect it to be so big. Tianyuan. Boom, suddenly, 3,000 holy realm puppets were summoned and appeared, overwhelming and densely packed. Emperor Chi Yao, a powerful emperor, felt inexplicable pressure. Chen Fan said, you don't need to answer me one word. You still want to leave? I didn't give Emperor Chi Yao the power to choose. Of course, I didn't force him, and I didn't threaten his life. I didn't use reasonable coercion and inducement. Okay. Emperor Chi Yao knew that if he didn't agree, he would have to stand in and leave sideways. Chen Fan's purpose was very clear, and he didn't want to give her a chance to choose, and to establish an ancient family. The foundation is past, not to mention strength. She didn't want to agree, but when the 3,000 Holy Realm puppets appeared, she was dumbfounded. Strength, got it. What kind of means is this? Here, anyway, there are a lot of things. Haha. Xian Ji, your disciple, has great power. At this moment, it seems that whether Chen Fan is possessed or not is not important. Chen Fan smiled. Since Emperor Chi Yao is willing to help, the matter is settled. Of course, I will give you what you want. Py transaction, nothing more than resources, can be taken out. Emperor Chi Yao stared at Chen Fan with beautiful eyes. Getting on the pirate ship means making enemies for yourself, and getting off. Since there is no choice, there is no need to say more. Then slightly shifted his gaze. Tianyuan. What do you think? What's wrong with the child? Said embarrassedly. She was curious. It was just too strange here. She didn't mean that, really. She didn't know who the wife of Emperor Tianyuan was. Such good luck. Chen Fan was stunned for a moment. It has nothing to do with you. What gossip, gossip? Emperor Chi Yao was very disappointed. She suspected that the matter of the child was not simple, because Chen Fan was not simple. There must be something fishy. Intuition. So she gossiped. The next day, Chen Fan woke up at Ling Qingqing's residence. This time, he came secretly, holding a delicate body in his arms. Oh, finally there is a child. I can sense the coming of fate. It's a little sudden, not so sudden, my child, the potential of the emperor. Husband, is Emperor Chi Yao really related to me? Ling Qingqing said leisurely. Husband told her about the relevant situation. Chen Fan nodded. Madam, of course it is related. You can see from the attitude of the senior sisters. After this, let's get married. Getting married with a child. Okay. Ling Qingqing leaned on Chen Fan. This time, she really wants to give the emperor husband a child. She was urged, but she still felt that it was urgent to practice hard, return to the peak, and awaken the memory of the previous life. I know why the emperor is so anxious. Suddenly, Chen Fan received a message from the top worker, Emperor Chi Yao. 100,000 people, attacking the city. That he was stunned for a moment. Soon, Chen Fan and Ling Qingqing stood up quickly and appeared on the ancient city. Many figures rushed from all directions of the city. Emperor Chi Yao looked at Ling Qingqing, and then scanned those people with a cold look. Tianyuan, these people are very weak, but I don't know why they came. Wait for you to decide. If it seems that the other party has no hostility, she can wipe it out by herself. Chen Fan's face was weird. What 100,000 people attacking the city? This, too many undercover agents. Emperor Chi Yao. Chapter 70, 100,000 undercover agents return at the command. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 70, 100,000 undercover agents return with a click of undercover. Then Emperor Chi Yao asked a question deep in his heart, expressing that he is extremely confused. He has never been so confused, because she was ready to start a fight immediately with Chen Fan's. Then he looked at the countless densely packed shadows and said, asterisk at infinity times is not equal to $#. On the other hand, Chen Fan looked fiery and looked at the returning group. The news had been released and they would not come to attack the city. It seemed that the Chen family was right. I thought there would be thousands of incense burners, but I didn't expect so many to come back. Then he nodded. The Chen family, I won't explain it to you for now, but you will understand. That I deeply suspect that the undercover agents have raised children and married wives outside, and they brought their families back with them, but is good. With the base number, will be much easier to do. In this way, major industries can also grow and develop rapidly. With enough ding and the number of top powerhouses, the Chen family is enough to rank among the top families. Show your cards, no more hiding. Hearing this, Emperor Chi Yao fell silent. She figured out the connection easily, but why are there so many? See you soon. This emperor is really short-sighted and has never seen such a battle. No, I don't know if there is a Chen family in our Chi Yao country. so I have to be on guard that the Chen family is really terrible, and Ling Qingqing smiled slightly, the clan of the emperor's husband's family is really interesting. But for other situations, it has caused inner harm to some extent. Well, the Shinto Holy Land has also been harmed, so just pretend I didn't mention it. Soon, the news here spread, and Chen Fan also sent a message to give instructions to arrange for the clan's return and other matters. As for the major puppets, of course they are responsible for maintaining order. Emperor Chi Yao next to him was a little confused. In this way, in line with Chen Fan's ambition, it seems that the Chen family is destined to show its power across the continent. Seeing that Chen Fan was in a good mood, she glanced at Ling Qingqing. Mr. Tianyuan is right. Where have we met? He whispered to Ling Qingqing. After hearing this, Ling Qingqing's smile gradually disappeared and then became serious. He said decisively, I've never seen it before. Emperor Chi Yao has something to do with her, and Emperor Chi Yao must not be allowed to know her identity. Otherwise, how embarrassing would it be for her to give her disciple a child? Let Chi Yao think of her. Emperor Chi Yao didn't think much after hearing this. But she always feels that Ling Qingqing gives her some sense of familiarity. Then I think too much. Then he looked at Chen Fan's back. This disciple of Emperor Xuanji can be said to be unparalleled throughout history. It's not like the state where was taken away, but for some reason he became as powerful as her. Today, she didn't know where Emperor Xuanji was, but she was afraid that if she couldn't wait for Emperor Xuanji to come, she would attack his disciples. Because Tianyuan is so bad, he can easily crush her and kidnap her as soon as they meet. No. Emperor Xuanji must not be allowed to know the thoughts of her majestic empress. Otherwise, how can she face her old rival? Seeing that Emperor Chi Yao didn't ask any questions, Ling Qingqing breathed a sigh of relief. The shadows below gathered one after another, and then got closer. In this scene, there are as many as 100,000 people, and there is a fierce battle. People who don't know it think they are here to escape famine. We're finally here. The ancient giant city, a miracle, belongs to my Chen family. And I also belong to the Chen family. Everyone looked at the incomparably spectacular and glorious city, and their blood boiled with excitement. My Chen family is about to rise. Ha 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 ha. The powerful emperor is sitting in charge, and there are countless powerful people who can sweep across the Tianyuan territory in an instant. What a heaven-defying spirit. I didn't even react, and the family took off while I wasn't paying attention. I don't know which ancestor of my Chen family can actually become a powerful emperor undercover. A role model for us. A role model for us to learn from. Those who come, all show their cards and refuse to do it, return home as fast as an arrow. There was even time to chat while running. Brother, are you also a member of the Chen family? I am a member of the 6th branch. I heard that my Chen family has a great emperor and strong man, and I am calling the clan back. I didn't even want my wife and children, so I came back overnight. Ha 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 ha. What a coincidence, so do I. I don't know, brother, how powerful are you undercover? How far have you gone? I am the deacon of the Lin family. Then you can't do it. I managed to sneak into the position of the leader of Anzong. Anzong? Isn't that a sect that doesn't belong to the mainstream? Hey, don't mention it. None of you can do it. I have become the top boss in Hafen village. If you don't call me back, I'm afraid that we'll be able to dominate the mountain and become the king. Awesome, awesome. Ashamed, ashamed. Daddy, I want to go home. I won't come here. A little girl was carrying a bag and was a little scared. Daughter, to be honest, there is something Daddy didn't tell you. This is our home. No, no. Daughter, there is something Daddy didn't tell you. In fact, there is a powerful emperor in our family. Great, great, this is my home. Daddy, please hurry up and leave, just like the turtle. Ms. Sir, why are we here all night? Husband, move. Ms. Sir, I can't get used to living here. It's better to be at home. Then go back. The scene was extremely chaotic. The members of the Chen family who have returned are busy, sweating, in pain and joy. At the city gate, the registration line is connected to the team of the Luoyun sect next door. Of course, the city gates are set up on all sides. Next. Si Fu. Hey, who are you? I am your grandfather. The steward of the Chen family in the previous batch. What? Si Fu was sweating. I didn't expect that my grandfather was still alive. An old man went out undercover. But the work is more important, so it's better not to mention it. Next, sign up. The third generation steward of the Chen family, the first branch disciple, Chen Yao. What? The third generation? Si Fu was confused. The family has been passed down for many generations. According to the ancestors, it is now the 33rd generation. I didn't expect that there would be an undercover in the third generation. How powerful that must be. Chen Yao immediately activated his spirit and entered the Dao Palace realm. Is there a problem? No problem. Si Fu was sweating again. The old monsters who existed longer than the ancestors have returned. The Emperor's call is so terrifying. Next, you. Who am I? You bastard. Come on, take me away. No, I can't join the Chen family. Soon, Si Fu understood a truth, and finally knew why there were so many people. The undercovers of the 33 generations of ancestors came back. There are people from all time periods. Next. Si Fu looked up and saw that it was like a kindergarten plus a group of beautiful women. Stunned, the man laughed. Don't mind, I became the lord of a city, married countless wives and concubines, and gave birth to more than 50 children. Is it okay to come back to the family? No. No problem. Si Fu was stunned. Why worry about the family's prosperity? The Luoyun sect disciples on the opposite side were also confused. What's going on? They didn't care about practicing anymore, they just cared about watching the fun. And Xuanhuan was silent. This city was Chen Fan's work. It's a pity that the heroine doesn't know her, and the Chen family turned out to be so big. I never expected that this family is much bigger than our Su family. But I went out and saw this city. I want to cry but I have no tears. It's convenient for the master to discuss things with Chen Fan. On the other side, Jiang Luoli and the others were also confused. I came to see the junior brother's family, but I didn't expect that the senior sister had to work. Register the junior brother's family disciples. It turned out that the junior brother's family was so big. But the family members went out to train, which can be said to be the whole family out. Bai Fengmiao was suspicious for the first time. This familiar feeling, this familiar smell. Feng's eyes widened. There are so many people from the master's clan. I am too narrow-minded. What I saw before was just like playing. At the same time, more than 10 miles away, a group of royal teams came, in the noble and majestic carriage. The strong man in the lead frowned. What is the Chen family doing? Recruiting soldiers and horses. How can this be possible? That I was furious. I didn't expect that this small clan had such great ambitions. They have already started recruiting soldiers and horses under my nose. Chen Gongting, who was in another carriage, had a buzzing mind. King Chen, the matters entrusted by His Majesty are important. No matter what, just take a look and you will know. That I don't know what the Chen family is doing. But all signs indicate that this Chen family is the Chen family you mentioned. Then she looked at the maid next to her and whispered, "Little queen, don't be afraid. You'll be safe when you see the emperor of the Chen family." Yes. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _type, mix.